Bonjour mes étudiants 8th standard, I welcome you all to this new session. So we are in lesson 4 Kallu et Malade. So from this lesson we have seen all the French passage and few exercises based on this lesson. There is some interrogative exercise, negative, and now this time we are going to see conjugation. So let's move on to the exercise and then I'll show you the pictures based exercise. So in the online class, live class, we saw this exercise number 6. So today we are going to see exercise number 7. Conjuguer les verbes suivants. So this exercise could be more interesting because normally what we do, we conjugate the verb and we write it, but here the verb is asked in affirmative, interrogative, negative, and interrogative, negative, and negative. So this will be little challenging, and definitely this will be a very important exercise for your quarterly, because quarterly exam you will be asked conjugation, that is 30 marks. So definitely I will ask from this exercise. So be prudent and just concentrate on this exercise today. So this exercise will be very good on screening method because you will not have this spelling issues and it will be a clear vision for you. So try to concentrate well. First, verbs accessoires sur le banc, we will learn this first. So here's the first exercise which we are going to see. Okay, so s'asseoir sur le banc, affirmative. So this is what we are going to see now. S'asseoir sur le banc. Assessoir means sitting down, just sitting. Okay, so assessoir, OIR, this verb ending is OIR ending. Je m'assis sur le banc. So s'asseoir is a reflexive verb, so S apostrophe is given here. The first one is je m'assis sur le banc. Second, for tu t'assis sur le banc. Elle s'assit sur le banc. Nous nous asseyons sur le banc. Vous vous asseyez sur le banc. Elle asseye sur le banc. So this is accessoire. The endings, let's concentrate on the endings. CASSE, this is taken from the verb as radical. The endings here it is DS, D. Totally the changing changes here. So this is an irregular verb, YONS, YEZ and YENT. So this is the first verb. The second verb is venir. Venir de Paris. The first one is, so they have asked here to do it in the form to est que. So est-ce que je viens de Paris? Est-ce que tu viens de Paris? Est-ce qu'il, elle vient de Paris? Est-ce qu'il, elle vient de Paris? Est-ce que nous venons de Paris? Est-ce que vous venez de Paris? Est-ce qu'il, elle vient de Paris? So this is affirmative, this is est que, form 2. Okay, now we are going to see third one, that is negative. Ouvrir la porte. Je n'ouvre pas la porte. So ouvrir is OIR verb, but it is a irregular verb. So if you see the IR is taken and added with ES, EONS, EZ, ENT. Normally IR ending will be IS, but since this is a irregular verb, the ending changes. So if we read this, it should be like je n'ouvre pas la porte. Tu n'ouvres pas la porte. Elle ouvre pas la porte. Nous n'ouvrons pas la porte. Vous n'ouvrez pas la porte. Il, elle n'ouvre pas la porte. So since this is negative form is asked, n apostrophe before the verb and pa after the verb. This is the only thing you have to do. Just negation is used. So it does not form. It's an affirmative form. Okay. So this is not. This doesn't comes under interrogation. Okay. So third one is done. Fourth one, offrir les fleurs. So if you see, this is negation but interrogation. So negation but interrogation means that is inversion type 3. Inversion method. So NA not applicable for je. Okay, that is what they say. Je form will not come for inversion. If you remember the first class, I would have told you. Inversion method is not existed in je. Either you can use intonation method or you can use esker. So saying that n'offre tu pas les fleurs. So IR verb. Okay, but even at this one is irregular endings. So if you see ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT, as we saw it for ouvrir, it will be little similar to ouvrir. Okay, so n'offre tu pas les fleurs, n'offre-t-il elle pas les fleurs, n'offrons-nous pas les fleurs, n'offrez-vous pas les fleurs, n'offre-t-il elle pas les fleurs. So if you see, what's the change here? Usually we will write before the verb ne and after the verb pa, but see this in interrogation. Before the verb ne is written, but after the verb pa is not written. Instead, they used hyphen subject and then pa comes here. That means before the verb ne and after the subject pa. So that is what you have to remember. And the second rule they have used here is, since this verb and this subject starts with a vowel, this verb ends with a vowel and this subject starts with a vowel. So in between there is a consonant. T is introduced to use this phonetically. Okay. N'offres-tu pas les fleurs? N'offre-t-il elle pas les fleurs? N'offrons-nous pas les fleurs? N'offrez-vous pas les fleurs? N'offre-t-il elle pas les fleurs? So this is what you have to remember. And this is form 3, negation. Okay, negation with interrogation. Last but not least, we are going to see mentir in an affirmative form, that is type 1. Je ne mens pas, tu ne mens pas, il, elle ne ment pas, nous ne mentons pas, vous ne mentez pas, il, elle ne ment pas. So if you see, the verb ends with IR, but the endings are not regular endings. This is irregular endings. So that is one thing you have to note. Secondly, mentir, it is asked in negation before the verb ne and after the verb pa. So it is as simple as that. So this one is a very easy one. So third one is ouvrir, fourth one is offrir, and fifth one is mentir. So I'll tell you out of this how we are going to your online test will be asked. Your online test will be asked on this exercise, that is accessoire, venir, ouvrir, offrir, mentir. Any two I will ask on your online test. Okay, so either one or two, or any, it might be nous form or vous form. And here venir, the conjugation part I will ask. Okay, the conjugation differs, right? So you must revise this by heart. There is no other way, because irregular verbs, it is hard to remember. Either if you by heart, it's well and good. And from ouvrir I will ask one or two conjugations. From offrir I will ask one or two conjugations, like that. From each verbs I will be asking 2 or 3 conjugation, and you have to conjugate it in a right way. Now let's see the answers for whatever we have written as a homework. So I gave this as a homework, that is mettez dans le bon ordre. So the sentence will be jumbled like this and you have to match it in the right order. So here is the answers. So I'll read it once, you can check it. Aime chocolat, je si le. So the answer is C, j'aime le chocolat. So I taught you this on board, C form. I taught you this on board. So you can have a look on this. Faites le pas devoir, vous ne. So the answer is vous ne faites pas le devoir. Vous ne faites pas le devoir. Next is ami, vous oubliez votre. The answer is vous oubliez votre ami. Fourth one, il vit s apostrophe part habite et il. And the answer is il s'habille vite et il part. Last, tu froid et fait vent il je. The answer is il fait du vent, j'ai froid. So this is the answer for the writing the sentence in the right order. So we will see one more exercise which is like this. So yesterday I taught you this exercise on board, that is l'élève ne comprend pas le pomme. So these are the answers for it. So I already taught you on live class, so some might have not written the answers, so I am displaying it here and I'll read it once for you. L'élève ne comprend pas le pomme. Il s'appelle les Dubois. Monique et Marie viennent de l'école. Nous sortons à 7 heures. Mon père est triste parce qu'il grossit. Je ne désobéis pas en classe. Nous offrons des bonbons aux enfants. Ils prennent du thé. Vous dites bonjour au professeur. Elles écrivent une lettre. So I will ask today's online test either from this exercise or this conjugation. So if I give both, you will read, because both are very important. So I want you to read both the exercise. So revise this exercise, conjugation exercise, as well as this exercise. I will ask any one exercise, that is flexible for you. So once again we will revise today's topic as a recap. So today what we saw was a few verbs, that is s'asseoir, venir, ouvrir, offrir, mentir. If you see here itself, you can say this is an IR verb, IR and IR, but all these IR verbs are irregular verbs. And we have one verb which is reflexive and ends with OIR. The only verb ends with OIR is s'asseoir, and the other verbs are venir, ouvrir, offrir, mentir. Now let's just do a short recap on this. S'asseoir sur le banc. Reflexive verb is conjugated using M apostrophe, T apostrophe, S apostrophe, nous, vous, S apostrophe, because the verb starts with a vowel. So the conjugation pronunciation will be je m'assis, tu t'assis, il, elle assis, nous nous asseyons, vous vous asseyez, il, elle assis. And this is venir, irregular verb. So it's straight away like est-ce que, form 2. So it will be est-ce que je viens, est-ce que tu viens, est-ce qu'il, elle vient, est-ce que nous venons, est-ce que vous venez, est-ce qu'il, elle viennent. Next is ouvrir in the form of negation, that is negative form. So je n'ouvre pas la porte, tu n'ouvres pas, il, elle n'ouvre pas, nous n'ouvrons pas, vous n'ouvrez pas, il, elle n'ouvre pas. So IR, but the endings are different. Okay. Offrir les fleurs, here it is negation plus form 3, that is inversion. Negation plus inversion. So je form is not applicable here. And one small change here is before the verb na and after the subject pa. But here see, before the verb na and after the verb pa. But here in negation with interrogation, before the verb na and after the subject pa comes. So since to indicate this is form 3, a hyphen is used between verb and subject. So the endings will be like n'offres-tu pas, n'offre-t-il elle pas, n'offrons-nous pas, n'offrez-vous pas, n'offre-t-il elle pas. So offrir finished. Last but not least, mentir. So it is as simple as you did ouvrir, before verb ne and after verb pas. Je ne mens pas, tu ne mens pas, il, elle ne ment pas, nous ne mentons pas, vous ne mentez pas, il, elle ne ment pas. So we are done with this. Let's move on to the book. So I'll tell you what all exercises I have showed you today. I have shown you exercise number 6, answers 7 we discussed today, and I asked you to do trouver la question. You can take this as a homework. Anyway, we will revise this once again in live class. And exercise number 9 also you take it as a homework, and using this homework you can do using the grill which you have in the same lesson. Grand, grande, grand with S and grand with ES. So there will be a tabular column for this in the previous lesson, I guess. So using the tabular column you can do that exercise. So exercise number 9. So with this we come to the end of the today's session. So we will see a new topic in the next session. Merci mes étudiants. Try to do your online test as best as you can. Merci, bonne journée.